If you buy these 3 players, you're going to lose money. That's right. The influencers are hyping up 3 specific players that you're going to buy in hopes of actually making money on the back end. But what's going to happen is you're going to spend too much and you're actually going to lose money on all 3 players.
Sports show every Friday, hot take, where's the market, behind the scenes from the car shows to the streets. There's only one show, there's only one show I wanna watch. EDI Sports Show every Friday.
Welcome back to EDI Sports Show. If you're new to this channel, I'm your host, Doc Schwartz, and every Friday I bring to you this show. We have 4 segments. We have the hot take, which I'll do first, which happens to be the 3 players that you're going to lose money on from the hype machine. And then we also are going to go, where's the market, behind the scenes, and then your viewer comments at the end. If you want your comment to be highlighted on this show, I highly recommend you leave a question because I like answering questions at the end. If you're also a hockey fan, I write a newsletter. It is free. I am covering the Rangers plus around the league, so you can get the link in the description below. Now let's get into the hot take. So these are the 3 players that you're going to go chasing after, that you're going to lose money on. And I want to make this very clear. I've been collecting for over 40 years. I have seen this happen time and time again. And as you probably have seen from Jeff Wilson, the sports card investor, when he first started making videos, he was talking about the players that you should buy. And he was wrong on all of them, like all of them. He was never right once. So here are 3 players that you need to be aware of because you're going to lose money on these. So here's the first one, Caleb Williams. Now, Caleb Williams is a great college quarterback. Great. Went to USC. Absolutely. Won the Heisman. But here's the problem. Caleb Williams is not going to be a superstar in the NFL. I know you're like, how do you know that? Because I know. Look at all the superstar quarterbacks in NFL history, and none of them were hyped like Caleb Williams. None of them. Tom Brady was a 6th-round draft pick. He went to Michigan. Michigan is a big-time school, but no one cared about Tom Brady in college. In fact, all of the great quarterbacks, no one cared about them in college because the difference between the college game and the NFL game is called longevity. And one of the things that Caleb Williams is not going to be able to do is survive the NFL. Look at RG3. I mean, I could go through a laundry list of players that have been overhyped that never made it. Caleb Williams fits that category. So if you're buying Caleb Williams cards in the hopes of making money, you're going to lose. Now, here's what I want to say. This is the disclaimer. If you like Caleb Williams and you want to collect Caleb Williams cards, then buy Caleb Williams cards. But if you're thinking about flipping and making money, you're going to lose every single time. All right, let's get into player number 2, and that is Jackson Holliday. Now, all of you got really excited. Oh my God, is another rookie. All right, one of the things that you need to know is that rookie prospecting in baseball is nearly impossible. And the reason is because baseball is a long time sport. Like, you need to have a decade's worth of superstardom to even be in the conversation. So all of these prospects that are so great in the first 1, 2, 3, 4 years of their career, it doesn't matter because you have to keep going. If you look at all the superstars in MLB history, we're talking about careers of at least a decade, most of them 15 years. So unless a player is going to be able to put up numbers like that for a long time, and the best example is Mike Trout. Mike Trout might not make it And that's the thing. Don Mattingly's not in the Hall of Fame because Don Mattingly couldn't survive. So what I want you all to be understanding is that you're going to lose on the Jackson Holiday sweepstakes. You're going to lose. Just like you lost on the Greg Jeffries sweepstakes, just like you lost on a whole bunch of other players. Literally, that's not the bet you want to make. There are other prospects that I think you should probably go for, but Jackson Holiday is not one of them. Now let's get to the last player. And this one might be controversial. I'm not sure because there's been NBA players that have come out and said, I don't know what the hype's all about. They get the story, but the hype? So here it is. Bronny James. If you're buying Bronny James cards because you think that you're going to be able to make money on him, well, then there is a sucker out there because someone is going to pay for a player that's not going to be that good in the NBA. Now, that doesn't mean that a Bronny LeBron card, I'm sure, I am positive that Topps and Topps Chrome is going to have a card that has Bronny and LeBron on the same card. Now, that card will be worth money. Okay, so if you're looking for a card that'll be worth money, that card will be worth money. But Bronny James is not that good. He's just not that good. So anyone that buys his card that thinks they're going to make money on the back end, you're just throwing money out the window. There are other players that you can prospect that you will make legit money on, but that's not one of them. Bronny James is not good. NBA players have already come out and said they don't see it. They don't see it. They see the story. It is a fun story. That father and son might be able to play on the same team. That's crazy. But LeBron at his age is 10 times better than Bronny, which is not good since Bronny is 20. But again, it's the story. So the one card that you should be looking for is definitely a Bronny LeBron card. That one I recommend. But anything else that's just Bronny is just a waste of time. You're literally going into the soup of just I love throwing away my money. So if you like doing that, hey, be my guest. But again, not what I recommend. Now it's time for Where's the Market? In this week's Where's the Market, we're going to look at two players that you should be buying that you can actually make money on. And the first one is an obvious one. Yes, I'm going to tell you right now, it is obvious, and that is Caitlin Clark. Now, here's the reason why you should be interested in Caitlin Clark. It's got nothing to do with, just the hype machine and all that other stuff. What you need to understand is that the eyeballs on Caitlin Clark are this much. And I know it seems like, oh my God, everybody knows about Caitlin Clark. No, actually, no one knows about Caitlin Clark yet. And that's the point, is that she's at the beginning of cultural superstar. Again, it depends on how well she plays in the WNBA. This is actually the point. Can she put up threes from half court in the WNBA? Because if she can, you're looking at another Michael Jordan, Steph Curry, LeBron James moment in WNBA history. This is a big moment. She just signed a Nike contract, which means that she's going mainstream. Once you have a Nike contract and once that commercial runs on every single sports station and on every single sport, now you're talking about going from, and again, her numbers are, there's about 11 million people that know who she is. 11 million. That's nothing. That's literally nothing. Once the Nike ads come out and once the commercials come out, and trust me, the NBA is going to promote Caitlin Clark, so those numbers are going to get inflated as well. But once that starts to tip and she gets into the eyeballs of 50 million, 60 million, 70 million people, there is a long runway for Caitlin Clark cards. So if you want to really get in and cash in on a mega star that's going to just blow up, Caitlin Clark is the first player to look at. For the second player, we actually have to skip over the NBA and we're going to skip over MLB. And I know you're like, wait a minute, the NBA and Major League Baseball, those are two major sports. The problem is that, as I said in the opening, in the hot take, in Major League Baseball, you need to have longevity. So the players that I'm looking at in terms of like longevity are Acuna and Soto. Those two guys are the ones that we're really looking like they're trending towards Hall of Fame careers. So if you really want to get in, but again, they're not rookies anymore. So if you really want to get in on the beginning of potential Hall of Famers, those are the two guys that I would recommend, Acuna and Soto. I think that Soto could hit 500 home runs, which is a really tough feat in Major League Baseball history. I don't think that Mike Trout's going to make it to 500, and I don't think that Shohei Ohtani will hit 500 home runs. I could be wrong, but that's just what I think. So I want to go to the NHL, and I know what you're thinking. NHL, no one follows the NHL. How can I make money in the NHL? And what I want to say is that about every 10 years in each sport, there's one player that becomes a generational player. And in the NBA, that was LeBron James, and we're looking for the next player. It probably is Wemby because he's unbelievable. But everybody knows about Wemby, and everybody's already made the money on Wemby. If you're buying Wemby cards now, you're not going to make money on the back end. Like, he's already run up. So there's nothing left to squeeze out of Wemby. That was 6 months ago. So at this point, who are we looking at? And honestly, in the hockey world, because hockey does not get the eyeballs that every other sport gets, there's a lot of room to grow. And the generational talent is Connor Bedard. I did last week, I showed you where the market was on terms of Connor Bedard cards. Because if you buy a PSA 9 right now, which is around $400, if he continues to go in the way that I think he's going to go, that card will go to $1,000. That's pretty good. Now his PSA 10 is already going for around $1,000 now. People are paying a little more than that, so they're overpaying. But if you pay $1,000 for a PSA 10, that should be worth, if the PSA 9 is $1,000, that should be worth around $2,000 or $2,500. So you have room there. Again, you might be overpaying $1,300 right now, but in the long run, you still probably will get the value back. And that's what I want everybody to understand. But it's not going to be a year. It's going to be several years. And I can say that with confidence because of the way that Austin Matthews' market has gone. It took Austin Matthews a few years. He just scored 69 this year. He probably is going to score 60 next year. He's on a mission, and he's playing really well in the playoffs. That's why I look at hockey for just that one card. So you got Caitlin Clark and you've got Connor Bedard. Those are my two for where's the market. And so hopefully that helps. Let's get to behind the scenes. Over the last couple weeks, I've been showing you a whole bunch of stuff in my collection or stuff that I'm trying to sell. And so I figured what I should do is kind of give you my strategy as to what I'm going to do now. And to be quite honest with you, my goal is trying to use VeriSwap. And I've been checking this out for probably about 7-8 months now. I have a whole bunch of cards. I don't know if I can do rack packs, but I'm going to show you some of these. In order to do what I think it's trade, and also you can sell some stuff on VeriSwap. This is what I'm going to try to do. So I have this Tom Seaver rookie. So I'm going to put that up. I have a Ricky Henderson rookie. I'm going to put that up. I actually have two of them. I also have a Pee Wee Reese 1953 Bowman. I have a Don Mattingly rookie. That's a Fleer. I have a Burke Ross Joe DiMaggio. Okay. I also have a ticket. So this is a full ticket from the 1983 NCAA. That's the North Carolina State year. So that's the Jim Valvano year. So I have that. So I'm going to put that up as well. And these are the rack packs that I'm going to put up. if I can. I'm not sure. Not sure exactly how I can sell these outside of eBay, because again, eBay is really bad. I don't know what else to say. eBay's really bad. It's gotten worse. It was bad before, it's gotten worse. But this is the Bo Jackson. Okay. We've got Mark McGwire rookie. And the last one is a Don Mattingly rookie. I'm going to try to get rid of those. I sold a ton of rack packs when I was set up as a dealer the last 2 times. So one was in 2022 and one was in 2023. I sold a ton of rack packs. So obviously card shows is a great place, but I just don't have enough inventory to spend money on a table because I've sold most of my stuff, but I still just have too much stuff for a collection. And so that's where I'm at. I'm in the middle between I have too much for a collection, but not enough to be a dealer. And so that's what I'm trying to do, is figure out where can I go to sell some of the stuff or even to trade, because I'm looking for certain things. I'm trying to curate a PC, but I just have too much stuff. So that's where I'm at, and I wanted to thank you all for coming behind the scenes with me. So now let's get to your viewer comments. The first comment comes from Rob Smith, 1975, and it reads, "Stop telling me what to do, whatever I want, whenever I want, and how I want. Who do you think you are?" So I love this comment. So Rob Smith, thank you so much for the comment. I'm hoping that we're tongue-in-cheek here. I'm hoping that you have a sense of humor. I'm hoping that even if you're part of the neurodivergent community who is literal and doesn't understand the world and has no understanding of social cues, I hope that you understand that this is a sports and sports card channel, and that I do a sports and sports card show every week. That this isn't rocket science. We're not curing cancer. This isn't serious. This is for fun. This is a hobby. You should be having fun. I'm hoping that Rob Smith is taking all of this in tongue-in-cheek, but if you're not, Rob, and you have no sense of humor, for everybody else out there on YouTube, I'm having fun. Like, this is, like, I'm wearing the jacket because, you know, as you can see, ESPN Here I Come, that was my dream when I was in college. I wanted to do this as a talking head on television and have the graphics and all the other stuff. I did get to work for ESPN and ESPN2 for a little bit, and I actually was the graphics coordinator on a show for ESPN, so I learned how to do all the graphics. So this is just cool for me. Hopefully everybody understands that this is not serious. Like, seriously, people, you need to take this less seriously. It's a hobby. All right, let's get to the second comment. The second comment comes from Joe8807, and it says, "Another awesome one. Good to see more subs. Well deserved." Thank you, Joe, for the well wishes and the good positivity. I want to thank you. Yeah, I'm over 1,500 subscribers at this point. I'm sort of a little shocked. I mean, can you imagine being someone in my position? I'm a career educator. I've never been on social media before in my life. I started all of my social media channels professionally and for fun in 2020. I started this channel in 2022, and I'm already over 1,500 subs. So, I mean, at this point, it's all gravy to me. I'm just having fun. I haven't made any money yet from YouTube. If people continue to watch, that I will. And I'd like to be able to put that money that I get from YouTube back into the channel and maybe do some giveaways for you guys. So once I get that first check from YouTube, I'm going to do a giveaway to be a big thanks to all of you. So if you're not subscribed, subscribe now. And let's get to the third comment. Our third comment is a sarcastic one as well, and it comes from USA Patriot Cards 8632, and it says, "Thanks for taking the time to explain such intricate concepts to me. I'm not an academic. I hate my life." I love it. Seriously, folks, I'm hoping that these sarcastic comments are meant in jest and meant as sarcasm and sense of humor, and that you guys get it. you guys get it. Like, I'm hoping that USA Patriot gets it. I'm hoping. I can only assume. But if you're not, like if you're out there and you're thinking that I'm trying to take over your life, I'm not. I'm just giving information, giving you my knowledge and my expertise over 40 years of collecting, because who else is doing that? I don't see anyone else doing it. Like Sports Card Radio does their thing, and Chasing Cardboard does their thing, and Jeff Wilson does his thing. I don't see anyone who's an actual collector for as long as I have who's giving the same information that I'm giving. I don't see it. So if you know of another channel that's doing what I'm doing, hey, put it in the comments. I'd love to see the links for these other channels. I'd love to reach out to them and maybe do something with them. That would be really cool to me, and maybe it would be cool to you guys. I don't know. I will say this, that there's not as much collaboration and positivity in the YouTube community that you think there is. It's more positivity in the hobby. If you go to a card show, you'll see more people who are actually friendly and nice and willing to talk to you. I've met plenty of dealers who are really great people. Like, they're great people. There's not as much scamming at a card show there is on eBay. Like, eBay is a complete free-for-all. It's a scam, basically you're waiting to get scammed on eBay, and they're trying. I understand that. But eBay is failing at every turn. But if you go to a card show, you're going to meet really good people. You're going to meet people you could be friends with. You're going to meet dealers who actually know what they're talking about and have contacts to get more cards. And because as a dealer, you need to find product. You need to get good deals so that you can sell cards at market price and not overcharge people. Because I also see dealers that overcharge way too much, and you're like, no one's going to buy those cards. And they know that too. They're just hoping someone's a sucker and will give them money for cards that are not worth that much. It is what it is. When I was a dealer and I had to price out my cards, there were plenty of cards where I was like, oh, I wish that was worth more. Oh, it's only worth this much. Okay. I mean, it is what it is. Like, the cards are only worth what they are based on the market, and you might want them to be worth more. But at the end of the day, you can only sell cards for what they're actually worth. And if you price them appropriately, you will sell them, which is why in the last show that I did back in 2023, I sold 85% of my entire table. And I actually had 2 tables. So I sold 85% of all of the inventory that I had with 2 tables. Everything was going. And dealers were saying, wait a minute, you're selling stuff for how much? They were coming over because they knew it was sort of like, all right, you're really on the market. So yeah, well, I knew what the cards were worth, and I was selling at about 85% of comps. That's a great deal, and if you're looking to get a good deal, that's where you go. And so even dealers were like, all right, I'll pay 85% because maybe I have a buyer that'll pay 90 or 95%, and I can get that little bit of squeeze, especially if you're looking at a card that's worth a few $100s. There's a little bit of room there that you can make some money. You're not going to make any money if it's a $30 card, but for a card that's $500, you might make $75 on it, and $75 is nothing to laugh at. When you're a dealer and you're like, okay, I need to make, let's say $1,000 at the show, well, $75 goes a long way. Anyway, those are the comments for this week. I want to thank you all for joining me. Again, I'm over 1,500 subscribers. I want to thank you, everybody who has subscribed. Once I get my first check from YouTube, I'm going to do a giveaway. But hit the subscribe, hit the like button, smash it, do whatever you need to do for the YouTube algorithm. That is all for this week. I'm Doc Schwartz saying, have a good weekend.
There's only one show I wanna watch. H-O-B